Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in to The Object of the Game. And we have such a great show for you today. For Coach Chuck Kyle, I'm Maureen Kyle. We talk about how every sport is a learning opportunity for any athlete, no matter what age. But we really do focus on youth athletes, especially since I'm raising a few. Dad, you coached thousands of youth athletes. But one of the hardest sports to kind of pick up and learn, because I think it gets frustrating for a lot of people. We're going to talk about golf today. Now, Dad, as athletic as you are, you've just recently kind of gotten back into golf and been picking it up. Do you feel like it's, we'll call it a challenge. We won't just say golf is hard. Like, it's a challenge.
It is such a skill-oriented sport that you can't battle it. Mm-hmm. You can't find a way to go, okay, I'm just going to power through this.
Yeah.
Wrong decision in the game of golf. It doesn't work that way. And I think, when I was a little kid, my parents golfed, so I'd go maybe once in a while with them, and I was left-handed, so I don't know, we'd go to the store and find a couple left-handed clubs, and I'd use them. But that's not the point. The point is, I'd play so much baseball, and you would think, logical transition from baseball to golf. Everybody would think that. Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah. Okay, because you're up there at bat, and there's this, I'm gonna, and the swing is way different. When I came back to start golf again, I had to just get the baseball program out of my system because that wasn't working. The ball would fly all over the place, right? And I'm like, I'm supposed to hit it straight.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's a game that you can't muscle it. You can't. It has its own challenges. It has its own techniques, and it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time. If you're going to do this game, you have to have the time to do it.
Yeah. And it does. It's interesting, as we've had guests on the shows, as we've known athletes, high-level athletes throughout the years. They all play multi-sports, but golf, once in a while you hear somebody who's played golf, basketball, football. And our guest today, you know him, especially if you are a big play fan, Jimmy Hanlin. We're going to have Jimmy on here talking about his background in golf, when he started, what other sports he played, what he's doing now with his career. And it's been an amazing career, but it'll be interesting to hear him talk about what kind of athleticism translated into becoming a pro golfer, and what kind of stumbling blocks he's had over the years, and what kind of successes. He's just fun to talk to anyway. So we're going to have Jimmy with us just coming up in a few minutes. Before we get to the show, I want to thank our sponsor, Infinity of Beechwood and Infinity of Akron. This is luxury redefined. The completely reimagined, entirely redesigned Infinity QX80 offers bold design, refined comfort, and a powerful presence on the road. The 2025 QX80 has earned the IIHS top safety pick for structural integrity, advanced safety technology, among many other things. You can discover it today at Infinity of Beechwood and Infinity of Akron, where the customer care is second to none. When we come back, we will introduce you to Jimmy Hanlin. If you haven't seen him before, this will be a treat. He's a host here on the Big Play Network. He's been ESPN Cleveland for years, and maybe you've taken a golf lesson from him or you've seen him out on the course. It's going to be a great show, and we will be right back. Thank you for watching The Object of the Game. We have a great show for you coming up. But first, I want to thank one of our sponsors, which is Lakespur Marketing. Lakespur Marketing prides themselves on delivering positive and powerful results. They are a full transparency marketing agency who will be with you every step of the way. They are constant communication with their clients. And at Lakespur Marketing, there isn't a set it and forget it strategy. All the tactics are customized to your needs. Trust the experts. Trust Lakespur Marketing. All right, well, today we have a very familiar face, especially if you are a big play fan. We have Jimmy Hanlin with us. We're going to talk golf. We're going to talk basketball. I'm going to let you two just talk coaching for a while. Oh, yeah. You guys seem to have a lot in common. But Jimmy, thanks for taking the time.
If she has to go somewhere, we'll be okay.
I know, right? I think I'm just going to sit here and listen.
I was actually just sitting here thinking about how great of a job you did as a parent, because she just wheeled through that and read there. Like, I was like, wow, she can go on air. Wow, that was awesome.
We're talkers in the Kyle household. Yeah. Reading out loud was
Yes,
was
I don't
one
know
of
if
my.
anybody listens to us.
Yeah,
They
but you can talk. I love it.
Okay.
I
That's
love it.
okay. Let's get to the show. Come on.
Yeah. But no, we're so excited to have you on, especially given your background. And I know that there's just on this show, we love to talk about how did you get into things? How did you end up where you are today? And then with coaching, I have to admit, I didn't know you were coaching basketball, which
Yeah.
we'll get into,
Yeah.
Yes.
which is,
Multi-sport. Look at this.
There you
This
go.
is exactly what we want.
Yeah.
Great
I got a lot of jobs. I can
Yeah.
tell you, I got a lot of jobs.
well, and it seems like you've really taken your background and created such a business, which is what I think a lot of people would be interested in hearing. But first, I always like to start, we like to talk to every guest about what sport did you play growing up, most of all?
Oh, well, name it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was me. So and again, it was a different time, and we talked about that off air a little bit. But I started playing golf at 6 years old. We dug coffee cans and put them in the ground in the backyard.
There you go.
And we, somebody gave us some cutoff gloves. My dad played college football, did not play golf at all. My mom did not play golf at all. I didn't come from a golfing family at all. My dad was a part-time deputy sheriff down in Steubenville, worked at Wheeling Pittsburgh Steel as part-time sheriff, and his partner owned the golf course down the road, probably 2 minutes from me, probably somewhere around in there. And he said, hey, anytime you want to drop the kids off to learn how to play golf, and they dropped me off and I never left,
Oh my gosh.
So
Now that's
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
an amazing story.
Yeah.
Come on, coming in here, I'm thinking, well, it's dad, mom,
No,
golfed,
I-
John, and they, got the young guy people going.
I don't think I've
It's
ever seen I
amazing.
don't think I've ever seen my dad hit a golf ball. I don't think he's ever hit a golf.
Oh, no
I think
way.
I've bought him 2 sets of clubs because he's left-handed, and I don't think he's ever used either
There you
one of
go.
them. Right? You lefty. I would
I
give one
have a
for it.
left-handed
Lefty.
dad over there.
Oh, you do? Yeah. That was hard. That made it more difficult.
Oh,
you know,
see,
but
that-
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope everybody heard that. That's
Yeah.
why some of my shots are all over. the
Yeah. Left-handed.
I'm left-handed. That's why. I can't help that.
I think-
Excuse,
I
but
think it's
no.
interesting though, because as a parent, and I have a lot of friends who are getting their kids into golf at early ages,
Yeah.
and we sit there and we debate, are we fools just because, hey, just because Tiger Woods got in when he was 4 or 5 and started playing the sport,
Yeah.
like, do we need to start that early, or can a kid pick up golf at age 12 and still be successful?
Well,
with it?
I think the answer to both of those are yes, right?
Mhm.
And so I started it because I loved it. I obviously didn't have anybody pushing me. I don't even know if we saw it on TV. I have no idea how that all happened when you're that young,
Yeah.
But again, like we had everything going on. So if you grew up in Steubenville, you played football. There was no question you have a choice. So played football, played basketball, played baseball. And then obviously golf was right there. So I'd wake up in the morning, go to work at the golf course, afternoon, go to practice, whether it was basketball or baseball or open gyms or whatever. And so I squeezed 4 sports in somehow.
That's-
Right. And
Mm.
and that was, and
Multi-sport. There you
and
go.
I'll go right down his alley here. So being from Steubenville, so I would have been the starting quarterback on a football team as a junior. I was 6'4", 155 probably, right? So you could break me in half if you blew on me, right? So, I did not go to Big Red, and so my offensive, anybody who was good went to Big Red. So my offensive line was a little weak, right? So at one point, I just was like, you know what? I'm better at golf, right? I mean, I was tall and I had a good arm and I was a good baseball player too, but I was like, I'm better at golf. So I'm going to play golf my junior year. So I decided right before football season started to tell them that I was going to go play golf. Well, you know how that went over in
Oh, wow.
Steubenville,
Yeah,
right?
Wow.
Right.
I mean, literally hate mail in my
No.
in my
I was
Oh my
going to
God.
think they were going to be
box.
signed.
Oh yeah, they were about
Yeah.
elephant. And my mom was like in tears. She couldn't believe it. Like it was like, you're done playing football, right? And that's how Steubenville is back then. I mean, probably not now as bad, but back then. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's when I left football and just focused on basketball, baseball, and golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now, you went to
Go ahead.
Methodist University. Did you play?
did.
What'd you do?
I
Ba-
did.
Basketball.
I
there?
did. So I
Okay.
went. I
College basketball player.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't
Yeah.
decide what I wanted to do. Right. It's May or June my senior year, and I was going to school to play baseball. No question. Was probably going to go to Kentucky, but wanted to go play baseball. I was a good pitcher in high school, good baseball player. Got hurt a little my senior year, and this is a great thing for parents. We played so much baseball, right? We played Legion baseball down there. We played 80 games a summer, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, by the time I was in May or June, I was just sick of it, right? I was tired of baseball. It was my best sport, probably by far, but I was just tired of it. And so, I don't know, I went down to Methodist University, which is in North Carolina, close to Pinehurst, beautiful weather. and it was Division III. So I'm, oh man, I could probably play 2 sports if I go to Division III school, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I go down there and I was like, I'm going to play basketball and golf at Methodist University. And they were one of 3 schools at the time, Coach, that had a program where you got your business degree, but your minor was in professional golf management. So they taught you how to run a golf facility, right? So,
I was going to ask him about that, so
yeah.
we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
You can feel it, but
yeah,
how that I have written down.
yeah,
Business administration, sports.
Yeah.
That's an
goes into
interesting
that,
thing.
And
But
so
you made this decision
early, right?
in college.
Yeah,
Wow.
right out of high school and college. I'm going to go there because this is what I want to do. And then I got there, and just in sports, you guys both deal with this all the time. It's like, I just kind of loved the basketball coach, right? He was a great guy, right? And it was like, and I played golf with him all the time. We had fun. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to play basketball. And I played 1 semester of golf my senior year, and it just because again, I'm still around golf. We're hitting balls. We're into classes. There's 150 golfers at Methodist University back then. Just there's only 8 of them on the golf team, right? So it wasn't abnormal there as it sounds in the real world. So I played basketball at Methodist, and then graduated from there and got my first job in the golf industry. Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah.
That's incredible. And most people can't parlay what they love to do into a career.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into that as we talk, but you had that feeling early on, like in college. Were you thinking when you're picking that major, I want to do this long term, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think, at that time it was like, I'll be honest, I just like being around people, right? I like being around people, and the golf business lets you be around people and still play the game, But what happened to me was I graduated from school, and now basketball's over. So I solely focused on golf. I just played golf,
There
right?
you go.
I moved to Pinehurst, North Carolina, got my first job, and I focused on golf. Well, now all of a sudden, a little bit of the athletic ability came out a little bit, and I started playing crazy good golf, right? Where I never focused just on golf in my life, right?
Yeah.
So I had the members of the club that I worked at came to me and said, listen, we want to give you money and you need to go play for a living. What are you doing here? You're winning tournaments, you're breaking
gosh,
course
incredible.
records,
Wow.
So that's what I did. I worked for 2 years, and then I went and I played for a living for about 4.5, 5 years.
Yeah.
I never made it to the PGA Tour, and part of that was probably my I didn't grow up with it, right? I was late to the game. And again, my dad wasn't going to tell me what to do out there. He didn't know. He played college football at Findlay. He didn't know that, And so at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade it for the world, but I didn't have success in the playing wise, but that's how I ended up getting to
But
Cleveland.
see, what happens here, it all comes together
Yeah.
because you like competition,
Yeah,
obviously,
love it.
and you like
Yeah.
sports and all that.
Yep.
His major, business,
Yep.
sports
Mhm.
management idea, right?
Yeah.
And it's all this was starting to come together.
Yeah,
The
it
way
did.
this worked out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because here's the game of golf.
Yeah,
You're living down there, and
Yeah.
needless to say, Pinehurst,
yeah, Pinehurst.
Right.
pretty good golf course.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Wow.
It was pretty good.
And
Yeah, it was pretty-
obviously, there's
yeah.
interests in that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we want
kids
to hear
out there that love golf. Look
Right.
what you can happen.
you can turn it into a business. I want to talk more about that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Jimmy Hanlin when we return. Welcome back to the Object of the Game. We are talking golf today. We have Jimmy Hanlin on. We were just talking about the early years of playing, but and how many tours did you actually play in?
I played on a bunch of them, right? So
Yeah.
when you're young and you're trying to figure out where you want to go, I mean, I bounced around the Carolinas and Florida and actually went up to Canada to play for a little bit, but I did it for about 4 years.
And do you have a sponsor when that
I
happens?
just those members, right? They gave
Okay.
me back
Oh,
then.
yeah.
It was 6 figures. It was in the hundreds of
Wow.
thousands that they gave me to go do it, and we had a deal where money that I won was split and that kind of thing. But it kept me out there long enough to figure out that I wasn't good enough to be out there, which is great.
Well,
but again,
you're
I'm
much better than most people
Listen,
who are golfing.
I'm Phil Mickelson's age, right? So I'm playing against Phil Mickelson and I'll tell you, I'll give you one I'll make it really quick. Stuart Sink, one of the greatest, players, won the British Open. I played in a U.S. Open qualifier with him, 36 holes, and I watched him play one of the greatest rounds of golf I've ever seen in my life. And I honestly walked off after that and said, maybe I'm not good enough to do this because I'm
Wow.
not as good as this guy right here.
Wow.
Time to get into the
Yeah,
business
trying to get
part
in the
of it.
business part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Before we get into the business part, did you ever have a shirt like this?
Listen, I have a great wardrobe, but I have a good golf wardrobe. But I walked in and I saw that, and I'm
Yes.
like, this is about
Patrick,
as good a golf shirt as
You
I've
got
ever
me tuned
seen.
in here.
Yeah,
All right, my youngest daughter, Christmas gift. She buys this shirt. Okay.
Yeah.
I took the tag off this morning
Yeah.
because I dare not. I just didn't have the courage. I didn't have the courage to go golfing in this
And I
shirt.
saw you at a golf outing.
know,
You
and
could have been
thought,
wearing it.
I don't know. I couldn't. All right. So she buys this golf shirt. Ready? All right. Here we go. Glad I can get rid of that coat. All right, Pat. I don't know if you can zoom in.
No, I don't know if we have
Because
Zoom capability.
What's the big deal?
pretty
It's
close.
a golf shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, my friends, you can't tune in too well because sure, it's a golf shirt, but if you can look carefully, there's football play diagrams and plays all over this shirt, all over this shirt. And my youngest daughter buys this shirt, and I go, I don't know if I could go out with this shirt.
I love
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
look at this.
I love it. I want to know if you would have used a few of those plays back in the day. You might have wrote some of those
I
plays.
don't
You
know.
know?
Look at this thing.
I had to squeeze that in
Yes.
because in all of
love
my
it.
years, I've never had my father want to reveal his outfit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Jimmy, you're here for
I
this
pulled
special
that
moment.
out of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shocking
Yes.
as it'll get on
He was
the
so
show.
excited.
Right
He was
there.
so
But I
excited.
had to wear it.
Yeah.
I love
in
it.
honor of Jimmy.
I
Yeah.
love it. I
Yes.
love that shirt. I love
Well, the
that
next
shirt.
time we ever in some fundraising
Yeah.
golf thing,
Yeah.
I'll wear it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I know
I'm
you're
counting on
coming.
it. I'm counting on it. I'm counting on it.
Right.
I'm kind of mad you didn't wear it last Monday when I saw
I
you.
know, but I'm
that was a
saving
good
it for the-
reveal. It was a good reveal.
I'm saving it for the big moment.
I love it.
So anyway, so you weren't wearing shirts as great as this, but you were going pro. You're getting paid to play.
Yeah.
And then you realize that's not maybe your path.
Yeah.
Then what is your first like business move of making sure, hey, this is my career, even though I'm not playing and getting paid to play?
You could call it business. You could call it desperation. I'm not sure which it was, but at the end of the day, at some point, I realized that like I was running out of money, right? And I didn't have any money, and I had to figure out what I was going to do. My swing coach, who was from Wheeling, West Virginia, actually, but he was one of the teaching pros at Pinehurst, said, "Hey, Jimmy, just so you know, I just got the job at this place called Quail Hollow in Cleveland, owned by the same people that own Pinehurst, and he's like, why don't you come up there for a summer and play and maybe work in the golf shop for me and just figure out what you want to do with your life, right, or whatever." And so, I'll make this really fast. But I said, okay, I got one tournament left to play in. I already paid the entry fee. I'll be flat broke once this tournament's over with, and then I'll be home. And I'm playing terrible, so I'll miss the cut. So I'll be there by Saturday, right? Well, funny enough, I'm on the range before the round, loosening up. A buddy of mine tells me, he says, "Hey, you aiming at that blue flag?" And I said, "Yeah, why? You know, it's 5 minutes before I'm going to play in a tournament." He said, "Well, you're aiming like 10 yards right of that flag." I'm like, "Dude, get out of here. Leave me alone. I'm about to go play in an event,"
Yeah.
right? So, of course, I kind of aim a little left, see if it works a few times. I go, I shoot 8 under, 9
Oh my
under. I'm
Oh.
17 under after 2 days, and I'm winning by 11.
No.
Oh,
Now, how do you think a 24-year-old's figuring out his life right now? Like, I can't quit. So then all my buddies come down from Pinehurst. You know, we hang out a little too much. I don't have to tee off till 1 o'clock. I shoot 8 over the third day.
No.
And I win on the last hole in a playoff. So long story short, I come home with a check for like 10 grand, right?
Oh, wow.
Which 10 grand was $1 billion to a guy that had $100 in his
Right.
bank
Yeah.
account at
Right.
the time, right?
Yeah.
right.
So, but that's how I got to Cleveland. Came to Cleveland, and I just, at that point, and you've talked about this a little, that was when I realized it's like, okay, it's time. It's time to get into the business side.
Yeah.
It's time to go to work. It's time to start teaching golf. It's try to start running
Yes.
facilities.
You had that degree.
It's that
business.
time. Yeah,
You
let's
gotta-
go
time
do
to
it.
tie everything
Yeah.
together.
And
But there was a moment.
Oh,
right
there was a
after
moment.
That you
Oh.
had to go,
uh,
I just won that tournament.
yeah, maybe I shouldn't be done, right?
Yeah.
And then I came up here and I started playing really good. And the members up here in Cleveland are like, "Oh, we got to get you back out. We got to give you money." I'm like, and I don't understand why I made this decision, but I said, no, I'm good. Right.
Right.
I'm good
There
where
it
I'm
is.
at. It's time for me to go down this road. I like Cleveland. I spent a summer here and I'm like, wow, this was probably 1997.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like it here.
You know
right?
how decisions are made. There's that fork in the road
Yeah.
a lot of times.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
You had to make the decision
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
which way you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worked out okay.
It did work out
Worked
pretty
out
good. It
okay.
worked out pretty good. I had a little stumble in there, and it's funny, and I don't know why it happened, but so because I was still young, good basketball player, they asked me to play. A bunch of guys asked me to play in like a men's league basketball,
Mhm.
you know, an under
Right.
30 or over
Right,
whatever
right.
it was at the time. So I go down to Lost Nation and I play in this event, in this thing, and this I get undercut playing in this game, right? And I come down, I land on my arm.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's so this is 2 years after I'm in Cleveland, right? So listen, I definitely still had the ghosts in there going, maybe you should still be trying to play, you know,
Yeah.
blah, blah, whatever. So I come down on my arm. fall on my arm, go to the doctor. Long story short, I shattered the radial head of my elbow, right? So the doctor from the hospital system that I went to told me and said, listen, he came in and he almost had tears in his eyes. He said, listen, you're done playing golf. Like,
Oh,
we got to
gosh.
put we got to put something plastic in there. They don't make anything else, blah, 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 whatever. Well, thank God I live in Cleveland, right? So what do I do first? Go straight to the Cleveland Clinic. I saw Dr. Hunt, which is now, I think he's the head of orthopedics at the University of Alabama, saved Paula Kramer's career. Anyway, he said, we have this titanium prosthesis we can put in your elbow. We've never done it before. You'd be the first one in the history of Cleveland Clinic. We put it in there. We think that'll handle you hitting the ground and being able to play golf. And so I was the first one to ever do it, and I play golf.
Whoa.
Oh my
Yeah, how
gosh,
about
that's
that?
incredible.
Yeah, so
That's a story.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I
Wow.
thought I could never play again, but I never really accepted that, to be honest with you. When that first doctor said you'll never play golf again, I never actually went home and sat on my couch and said I'm never going to play golf again. I kind of knew I was going to be able to figure it out one way or the other, and we did. Worked out great.
And, yeah, you had faith in it.
I did.
That's
Yeah.
that had
Enthusiasm, right?
There you go.
What's the transition like though, playing to then teaching?
Yeah,
like when you're a
different.
pro and you're now starting to have to explain to people how to do it.
Yeah.
That's difficult for a lot of
Not
people.
every good golfer is a good teacher.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not
100%.
every great football player
Yep.
is a good coach.
Yep.
There's a
Mhm.
difference. There is.
100%. Yeah, and it's no different probably, right?
Right.
You're right. You're either someone that enjoys making other people better and you get, you feel that and you feel pride for that and you want that to happen. Or like you said, you really only care about yourself. You're not good at teaching others, whether it's football, basketball,
Right.
baseball, whatever.
Whatever it is.
And I enjoyed that. So I actually get more joy out of teaching someone that just started the game and getting the ball up in the air than I do a scratch player that just hits every shot perfect. And, I enjoy teaching beginners more. And then just the whole business side of it. Again, it goes back to, I think, I like being around people, right? And golf allowed me to do that. And I think that's kind of where it
And this is a great area for golf. Now, Mother Nature throws a few hurdles in front of all of us.
Yeah, they do, for sure.
This
Yeah.
isn't Florida.
Yeah.
And I think we've established that. No one would argue out there,
No.
right? But being is made. I mean, you have some wonderful golf courses
Mm-hmm.
in Greater
beautiful
Cleveland.
ones.
Yeah, beautiful.
Even the Metro Parks golf courses.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, they're beautiful. I mean, you're right, all the way around the
Brian
world.
Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Let's go,
Yeah.
man. He makes
Yeah.
sure that
The big Met, little
big
Met.
Met,
Yeah.
little Met, just
Yep.
go right down the
Oh,
line.
Yeah.
I mean, Northeast Ohio is great. I mean, we have a great, temperature and great. It's just a short period of time, right? It's
Right.
from May till October, and
Right.
but during that time, I think you'd have an argument that it's the best golf weather and the best conditions in the world.
And he would
honestly.
know because you've traveled around
Oh, yeah.
playing a lot of
Yeah,
courses.
no
When we
doubt.
come back, we'll take a break now, and then when we come back, I want to talk about your broadcast career and
Yeah.
how you
Right.
have parlayed that into getting to play a lot of courses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
doubt.
Brilliant. We'll be back with Jimmy Hanlin. You're watching The Object of the Game. It's golf season. We got to talk golf, and no one better than Jimmy Hanlin, who is a member of this big play family and also golf pro. And maybe you've seen his work as you've watched any sort of broadcast across all platforms. A brilliant idea on your part. How did you come up with the idea to turn a golf career into also the broadcasting career? Where did that come from?
Complete luck.
Yeah.
Honestly, complete. Honestly, it was like so. I'll start back. I've been on ESPN radio for like 25 years now.
Mhm.
I've been doing a golf show, and I had no radio experience, no television experience, nothing. Never been on it before. And I went down as a guest because we had just opened Little Mountain, the course that I'm still at now. And we were going to talk about the new golf course in town or whatever. And the general manager, when I got done, his name was Errol Dengler, and he lived up by Little Mountain. And he called me and said, "Hey, man, how long have you, or how many times have you done radio?" I said, "I think I was like, all Ohio Valley. I had to go and do some interview in high school once around for 3 minutes. That's the only time I've ever been on radio."
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, hey, will you go be a guest again next week? Talk a little more about Little Mountain." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll promote the place as much as we can, right?" Well, little did I know it was kind of his test to see if it was that way again, and it was. And after the show, he called me and offered me to be the co-host of the golf show on ESPN Cleveland.
Amazing.
He said,
There you
"You're
are.
great on air, and we loved you, and we'd love to have you." And I'm like, "Wow, okay." I didn't even ask him if I got paid. I don't think. I'll be honest, I don't even know if I got paid at this point right now. So, and then that went on for a few years. And then, as you guys know, and I know you knew from back in the high school football days, Sports Time Ohio started, right? And Paul Dolan started the network, and they came to me and they said, listen, we have Indians baseball, we have nothing else. So they went to Darcy Egan to start an outdoor show, and then they came to me to start a golf show. And so it was called Tee It Up Ohio, and we went around the state of Ohio with a guy named Mike Cairns and worst golf swing in the history of golf, which was great for my show. It was perfect. A lot of stuff to fix, Coach. I had a lot of stuff to fix,
Yeah,
you know?
in all
There was
fairness,
no moment of going.
And Mike
you
worked with you.
haven't-
through-
Take
Mike,
some other
I've
sport,
known
you
Mike,
know?
yes,
Yeah.
but in all fairness, you have not seen our golf swings.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, all right. Well, we can save that for a big
We
play
can
show
save
down the
that.
road, right? So
that might have to go on location.
yeah, but that's just kind of how it happened, and that was year one. 2 years later on Sports Time Ohio, I had 5 golf shows. Right, I had an in-studio show, I had an instructional show. It went good, right? It was going well, and then when Sports Time Ohio was sold to Fox for quadrillion dollars, right? Fox came and they said, listen, we don't have the internal ability to do this, but if you want to start your own production company, you know, we'll help you, and you know, let's do these all over the country instead of just in Northeast Ohio. We have Fox Sports Midwest, Fox Sports California, Fox Sports Florida. So let's just put them everywhere, right? I'm like, okay, all right, let's do it. And so that's how it expanded across the country instead of just here. But again, just kind of luck, right? I mean, it just kind of fell into it, and it worked out good.
Okay, let's. He said, "Look, now, come on, big guy. You know, take a look at you had the degree in business administration. You come on, and the ability to teach.
Yeah.
And yes,
And an it factor. There's a certain it
Yes.
factor in broadcasting that if you don't have it, you don't have it.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
being able to do that.
Was there opportunities that come up? Yes, there are. Right.
Yeah.
And you could go. Oh, I don't know if I want. And then
Yeah.
you didn't go. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, you gotta grab it.
said, hey, let's take this challenge on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And you had. I'm be honest with you. I mean, take a look. What you were totally prepared.
Yeah.
The business end, the golf end, the ability to teach.
Yeah.
You had all the guns in the holster there, ready to go.
Well,
you were ready to roll.
And I think that, and again, I think Marina probably tell you this too, in her early television days, I wasn't worried about at the time when I'm 30 years old, 32 years old. I wasn't worried about the time of how much money I was making, right? That wasn't it. To me, it was like, I want to build a brand. I want to build something that I'm proud of. And listen, just like our guy over there, you know, I've seen doing my golf show, I've seen guys, you know, producing, sitting there, Andre Knott, who's made a great career with the Cleveland Guardians or whatever. Gene Winters, who was on with Bruce forever and works for the Cavs now. Jason's with the Browns. You know, so I've seen all these guys, same thing.
Yeah.
They put their time in, they put their work in. But at the end of the day, now we're older and they're all I could have almost told you who was going to be successful and who wasn't back then, looking through the glass and seeing them producing, because you could tell some of them were falling asleep and didn't want to be there. And some of them were, oh my gosh, no one's calling on the phone. Let me do a fake call. So, you know, so I mean, there's different motivations, and I saw that. And I feel like I did take that. I wasn't ever worried about how much I was making. It was more of, let's just do the right thing and it'll all work.
Right.
out.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. I ran teleprompter.
Yeah.
I was on radio and I ran teleprompter to get my foot in with a TV station. And I don't see a lot of people doing those double shifts, putting the work in. It's like, that's the big difference maker, is the putting the work in, putting in the extra effort.
No doubt.
But and it worked out for you 4 Emmys
Yeah.
for these shows.
Yeah.
Which was it all the same show, or was it?
No, they were different ones. In fact, I used to, I'll tell you, first time we talked a little bit about him earlier, Jim Donovan, the late Jim Donovan, and just a great guy. So my first 2, I did 2 shows with him. We did a show at Canterbury about the senior PGA, and it was we did a nice job with it. And then we did a show at it was a par 3 shootout show with all the celebrities and stuff. In fact, I'll tell you, we had the coach at Mount Union. Oh my gosh, I'm losing his name right now. He was there for Larry Karras. Larry was on there up in Columbus. We had him football. But anyway, long story short, we did this show. And then we won the Emmys, and then Jim had just started to get sick for the first one, so he missed his Emmys. And I walked up on stage, and half the people thought this was really funny, and I think half the people didn't really get it. But I'm like, this Emmy stuff's pretty easy. Just do a show with Jim Donovan and win an Emmy. I mean, this is like, I don't know why everybody thinks this is so hard. This is the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. I think some people thought it was hilarious, and some people were like, that's kind of brash. But I was just joking, right? But so, and then a couple of my other shows have been able to win them too. And then Actually, what happened was though, now I'm not allowed to be awarded the Emmys in our local area because the show's on nationally, so it's
Yep.
on different things.
Yep,
Oh.
So I
that
got
is a
booted
trick.
out a few
Mhm.
some
I
years
didn't know
ago.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are certain rules.
Right.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
it's a regional Emmy.
Regional, yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
because then if it's national, you're going up against whatever the news Friends is
Friends.
now. You're going up against.
I will tell you, Maureen, I do tell people all the time, I have been on air longer than Friends now. by
There
the
you
way.
go.
So everybody says, how long you been doing this? I go, I've been on air longer than Friends.
Cool.
So that's
Well,
pretty good.
one of my shows was national, and they're like, "Well, we're not going to put it regional. We can put it in national." I'm
Yeah.
like, so I'm up against like Jennifer Aniston in the morning show. I don't think we're winning on
Yeah,
that one,
that's
but
exactly
that's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
I want to talk about when we come back from our next break, coaching basketball, because now going back
Yes.
to one of the first loves and what that's like. I didn't know this until we were texting, like, hey, you want to be a guest? Yeah, sure. I'm coaching high school basketball too.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, we're going to talk about that when we return. Welcome back. We are with Jimmy Hanlin, who is basketball coach, high school basketball coach. Maybe you didn't know that. And also golf pro. We're going to talk more about golf in just a moment. But I thought it was really fascinating that you have been coaching high school basketball. Like, you don't have enough to do.
Yeah.
Let's throw on coaching. And that's where I feel like you two are going to have a lot to talk about when it comes to coaching. Why go back to a high school level and coach?
Well, I just love the game in general. I probably could have done the same thing in baseball. I love the game too, but I love the game of basketball. It's a good timing for me. It's winter time, right? So golf slows down a little bit. So it's good timing that I can really give a lot of time. And honestly, I'll be completely honest here, coach. You could tell me how you got into it. Honestly, though, like early when I started coaching the youth and stuff like that, I'm like, listen, when I coach, I control the schedule, right? So I kind of like this, right? Because then I'm not going to miss stuff because I control it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, this is because with my schedule and what I do,
Yeah,
I'm like, I
that's
want to
good.
see my kids play sports,
Sure.
right? So that's why it started. And then I was a big part of starting the youth basketball program at Riverside and just kind of grew into it. And then Matt Grandel, who just took the job at Independence, came to me and said, listen, like, we love what you're doing at this level. You want to come help us up at the next level. And so that's when I started coaching at Riverside. And now I have I have a son that'll actually be a senior. So I've watched him come through this whole, and I've watched the team that he's with come through this whole thing. And man, I love it, coach. I mean, I know you did it for many years, and I honestly would trade all that other stuff you have on that paper, throw it all away, and just go coach high school basketball.
Let me just make a prediction.
Yeah.
Of this, and I'm meaning this seriously.
Yeah.
He's going to be a good coach. He's going to be a very good coach. Why? There is a difference between coaching and managing.
Yeah.
And if you love coaching,
Yeah.
you have that beginner golfer.
Yep.
All right. And you can actually technically explain it, coach it, have the person just feel that they're getting better.
Yeah.
That's the kid in the gym.
Yeah.
It's the kid in the gym, right? Oh, there's basketball coaches and football coaches. Diagram all these wonderful plays and all that, right?
Yeah.
Are they coaching or are they managing?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If you're coaching, if you can take that power forward and kind of go, hey,
Yeah.
look, let's work on this tomorrow and
Yep.
practice this technique. That's a good coach. See,
That's
So-
it's pretty amazing because he's right on.
Yeah.
I mean, because
and he's
I
used to
literally,
doing that because of what he's done.
yeah, he's right. He is dead on, exactly right. Because I'm the only coach in the gym when I see a kid in fundamentals or off in their shot that I'm going to pull them off to the side. I'm going to say, listen, you want to spend 15 minutes after practice? This is what's going on with your shot, right? And I'm a big fundamentals guy. And that doesn't mean be technical, and I don't want them to think all the time. But if you're not doing it right fundamentally, when you get under pressure, it's not going to happen,
Yeah.
right? And so out of all the high school coaches that I've coached with, you're right. Most of them are probably more managers, and they have to be, right? They've got 60 kids in their program. They can't work on individual skills with all 60 kids. I love to take that kid and work on his fundamentals and make him better and prepare him for the next cycle.
There, I mean, this is part of the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the plays
Yeah.
and doing that. But those kids,
Yeah.
when they feel they're getting better, when they feel,
Yeah.
I'm understanding how to block out better, or
Yeah.
I'm getting the feel there.
Yeah.
You got him now.
Yeah,
you
that's
got
right.
him.
because they're going
there
to
it
come to
goes.
you. They believe in you,
Right.
right? And that's
Yep.
exactly right. They believe that you know
Amen.
what you're talking about.
Mhm.
And
Amen.
believe me, and that was a hurdle for me coming in because, again, just like you guys, nobody knew my background in basketball. They knew it in
Right.
golf.
Right.
I go, what's Jimmy Hanlin going to do teaching these kids basketball, right? He's a golfer, right? And at the end of the day, I probably know more about the sport of basketball than I do golf. And so but again, I'm not a diagram coach. I'm not a guy that likes to draw play. I don't like to sit there and watch. And I mean, that's just not me. I like to make players better.
Right.
Can I do that? Sure.
Sure you
Do I like to do it? I prefer to make players better. And it's funny, my son, who will be a senior, he's like the perfect coach's kid. He's the kid that, the trainers that he works with, like he always works the hardest, right? He always is in the right place. If we're in a press, he's never going to be in the wrong spot. So, which makes it so much easier because now I only have to worry about 4 of the other kids instead of all of them because he does. He processes it that way,
He's
right?
He can picture it.
Yeah, and it's fun to
Once
coach
you
him.
can get a kid
Yeah.
to picture it.
Yep.
That's okay.
Yep.
You're in the right spot.
Yep.
Now you execute.
Yep. His problem is
Execute is all the coaching that takes place.
that's exactly right. His problem is he's his dad. He's 6'3", 155. He needs to put on like 30. I mean, I told him, believe me, it's all coming. It just happens a little later in life. It'd be nice if he was a little bigger, but yeah.
But you said, I want to go back to it, that you would throw out the rest of the resume.
Yeah.
If you could do this. Why exactly?
I get this adrenaline and I get this feeling that it's where I want to be. I just enjoy it, right? I mean, believe me, it's not easy for, to tell Ashley that I'm going to be gone 6 days a week coaching basketball. And we have I have a little guy running around and, that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, I think she sees it too. I just love doing it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I just love doing it. I'm fortunate that I have the time to do it in that winter time. And I just like the kids too. I can say, sometimes I like just being in the car. I drove them to a open gym the other day and have the 5 kids in the back and just listen to the stupid stuff they talk about, right? It's just pure. It's better than Netflix, right?
You have a few hours.
Yeah, right. Sure, you got a lot of stories there. Oh, man,
wow.
oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, and I love to motivate, and that's what I love about his career. He's a motivator, right? I mean, he motivated kids, and listen,
Mm-hmm.
before I ever came to this podcast, I knew all about that, right? And I knew, and listen, and I studied, Gabe Cup's dad, a motivator, right? Did little things that motivated kids and make them want to be there and do better, and I that's what I enjoy doing.
Yeah,
for sure.
amazing.
Yep.
Coming up to our last segment, we're going to talk about how Jimmy's also helping to design a course. And then we have our English lesson, how we always wrap up the show with the English teacher here. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for watching The Object of the Game. We've mentioned it a couple of times on this show. Coach Kyle has just taken up golf within the last couple of years. Well, gotten back to it
Okay, again,
in retirement.
And he's a
in re-
lefty.
And
I'm a
he's a lefty. But
It's a bat.
which I think isn't that good in every
Yeah.
sport. I have a lefty too. My daughter's a lefty, and
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, well, she's going to be great."
Yeah.
The place where he's playing the most is Meadowwood,
Yeah,
and
Yes, I
there's a connection
Yes.
here.
yeah.
Meadowwood out
a mile
in
away
Westlake.
from my house.
That's a good thing.
My wife just started doing it a couple years. We're just come on. I don't
Yeah.
want to count points and strokes
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
I want to hit a ball and go. That's a nice shot.
That feels
And
good.
keep walking. That's
Yeah.
all I want to do.
Yeah.
But it might change. Jimmy, you're working on a
It's just
change
going to be
for it.
nicer. We're going to make it better. That's what we're going to
great.
make it.
But hey,
Yeah.
this is an interesting extra parlay in a career. So you're helping to design,
Yes.
redesign that course.
Yeah.
in
It's
Westlake.
interesting.
But I will tell you, it goes back to what Coach and I have talked about before. I just motivated the city of Westlake to do what they were supposed to do. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
they had a golf facility that was kind of run down and falling apart. The
Yeah.
mayor's been there forever. He's a great
Great.
guy, and
Wow.
Dennis is great. And
Yeah.
and so I just went to him and I said, listen, like we can create something here. Westlake is by far like the highest bond rated city. They've got money. They everything in Westlake is nice. And I'm like, and then you've got this golf course that's rated the worst one in the state of Ohio, right? Like we got to do something here. And so I met with them. Listen, this has been going on about 7-8 years, and they told me it was going to take a long time because city stuff takes a long time. But we're at a place right now where they're finalizing the building, so they're going to do a practice facility that will be covered. So in the wintertime, you get bored.
Oh,
It's
wow.
40
Nice.
degrees. You got the heaters coming down. You
Yeah.
can hit balls out there in the
Beautiful.
wintertime, and then
I didn't know.
yeah. And then in nice short game area, if you just want to go over and chip and putt a little bit and practice, then eventually they're going to build another golf course that goes around it. And it's probably going to be similar to what there is at Meadow now, either like a par 3 or a shorter golf course that's, but very playable and fun. So it's
Yeah.
a whole practice facility,
Wow.
learning center, they're going to call it, and
Nice.
they're all in, and it's all kind of approved and moving forward, and the city's great. The people in Westlake, I love Westlake. I
Yeah.
mean, I live on the other side of the world over there
Yeah.
in Painesville,
Yeah.
Concord, but I really do. I love the city. When I got to spend some time there, like, wow, these people do it right, and they do it right at Westlake.
And this must be interesting
Yeah.
for you too.
Yeah.
This is kind of a different challenge.
Yeah.
Right? Oh,
Well,
this
I
would
think
be interesting.
I think when people think you're in golf or you're a golf pro, you can do anything, right? So I did have people come to me many times and say, "Hey, can you design this for me? Can you design a golf?" I'm like, I'm not like an engineer, right? I can't make water go where they want it to go like they do, but I can tell you how I want it to look, right? And I can tell you how it needs to work to operate business wise, right? Like you don't want your golfer checking in over here and hitting balls over here or doing so. That's how I'm involved with the city, and I'm working with the architect, and we're working on what we want it to look like and how we make it work. And I actually did another project down in South Carolina, the same thing, and I just did a show there. It's about to open, which is fun, and it was the same thing. It was an RV park. They turned a golf course
gosh.
into 9 holes. They built a light up par 3, and these are people from Cleveland Construction, and they built these high-end RV parks now with the pools and the restaurants.
Oh my
and
gosh.
it's crazy. So it is. I'm in a bunch of stuff, but it is fun to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see how teamwork starts
Yeah.
kicking into what he's
Yeah.
talking about? I mean, this is a pretty big business thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
And you're talking millions of dollars.
Yeah,
here.
millions of dollars. Yeah.
And the idea of understanding teamwork there.
Yeah.
He just had I hope young kids listen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what'd you learn? Well, in sports, you work together on
Yeah.
something, and you have a clear vision of what you're trying to do.
Yep.
See, that's a good one for kids to hear.
Yeah.
Listen to that one.
All right. Well, that was a vocab word, teamwork. But you sent Jimmy your
He's ready.
list. Yep.
He is ready.
Yep. Of words and themes.
There's a lot of words on that list,
I
Mark,
know.
by the way.
I know.
Well,
I know.
That's well. I mean,
You gotta give
English teacher.
options.
Yeah,
That
English
thing's
teacher,
kinda,
So explain. Why don't you explain?
Right. Well,
The
I
thesis
just
around it.
and I shared it quickly to Jimmy when I texted him. The idea that sports, teaches so many things in life,
Mm-hmm.
and when you finish playing your sports, whatever, there's still a lesson that it's going to be effective in your life.
Yeah.
And so what I sent you again were themes that you could find in literature, but also on a golf course, on a football field. Those are themes that are important too.
Yeah.
They make a difference.
Yeah.
So he had a whole list of them, and
Mhm.
he told me he has two. So let's
Yeah.
hear what we got. Go ahead.
So what was the first one? Opportunity? Is that what I texted?
Opportunity.
And I think with opportunity, the reason I picked that word is that I've had a lot of opportunities pop up in my life, and some people look at opportunities differently. I try to grab every one that I had. Now, maybe at some point I realized that an opportunity wasn't right for me and I backed away,
Right.
but I never really kind of, for lack of better words, judged a book by its cover. I said, well, let me check this out. Let me dive into it. Let me see what I can do to be a part of this, right? Kind of a thing. And so I think that was one for me. And then the next word that goes along with it, coach, that you gave me, that, an opportunity to pick was enthusiasm, right? And doing that opportunity and attacking it with enthusiasm, and we just talked about it with, the Andre Knotts of the world and the Gene Winners, the guys that were on their phones or just sitting there sleeping at 7 a.m. when they're doing my golf show in the dome. It's 48 degrees.
Mhm.
They didn't seize that opportunity, right?
Right.
They just sat there and said, this is a job. I'm getting paid $8 an hour, whatever.
Yeah.
Some people, Andre not being one, Gene Winners, Jason, they seized the opportunity, even though it wasn't exactly what they wanted to do in life right then.
Right.
They knew that this would eventually give them the opporture. Same like your daughter,
Yeah.
right? Your daughter, you
Mhm.
think she wanted to run a teleprompter when she was starting to do that?
Yeah.
She went to college, got a degree, running
Yeah.
a teleprompter. But at the end of the day, she knew that was going to lead to something else. And so enthusiasm and opportunity were 2 words that I picked.
It's amazing when people are enthusiastic about something,
Yeah.
what can be done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
the human spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You're going to go. You're going to go. You're going to spend the extra time, extra effort. So
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good ones. Youngsters out there that listen to this.
Did you know that he taught Shakespeare and Chaucer
No.
in high school? Okay,
No,
so
I
yes,
did not know
most
that.
people always told me like, hey, "Is your dad the gym teacher?" I was like, "No, Shakespeare, Chaucer."
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so we always wrap up with a quote for our guests.
Right.
And is it still a Shakespeare quote?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And your mom kind of, I bounced off. She was going, that would be good for a person who's got to teach and it's going to take time for some of the people that you get.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. But what's going to excite that person is improvement.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this one really deals with they have to be patient, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Listen to that. So
Yeah.
this is from Henry V. I've had several from
You've
Henry
had a
V.
lot. Yeah, you've been reading
You know,
Henry
I
V a
just
lot.
had to do something. Okay, anyway. So here's the quote. Though patience be a tired mare, yet she will plod. Yeah, it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor. Yeah, patient. A tired mare. Plod along, but it's making progress. Right? It may not happen so quickly out there. You're not going to go from a shooting 120 for 9 holes to 70.
Right.
But there's a steady progression. And that's what you spend a lot of your time with people coming to you going, I got to become a better golfer. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm going.
Oh.
I'm in a tournament tomorrow.
And I got to tournament tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
And okay, it just doesn't happen overnight.
Yep.
Steady plod.
There's no shortcuts.
Mm-mm.
Shortcut is going in and working it out, right? Working on it.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
A metaphor of
I love it.
So
she
next
will
lesson,
plod.
you can quote Henry V.
There you go.
And
You better
and-
text me that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Well,
Yeah.
Jimmy, it's been great having you
Yeah.
on.
Oh,
This
thanks.
has been
you.
I
so
thoroughly
fun.
enjoyed this.
It's
Yeah,
great to
fun.
sit
Fun.
down.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I know you two saw each other at a
Yes.
charity
about it.
golf tournament.
Yeah.
Well, I got 30. You know,
Yes.
they asked him to come up in front. And just
Yeah.
And the question from John Tellich
Yeah.
asked you if there was one thing you would tell golf,
Yeah.
what would it be? And you said about the grip.
Yeah.
What
That
is it?
People hold it too hard.
Yeah.
Relax
Squeeze
the
it.
hands.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there while you're talking. I go like this to my hand going, oh, he's right. My hand is sore.
Yeah.
So I did golf once this week.
Yeah.
I was nice. Okay,
Nice and
come
loose.
on. I
Yeah.
can't. I just nice and loose.
Yeah.
Look
There
at
you go.
that.
Yeah.
Just a little thing like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
still feels a little strange
Yeah.
because I was 18 holes, you know. And I'm knocked that thing. Yeah. Great.
Keep
Yeah.
it simple.
See that?
Yeah.
See what happens?
Yeah.
See, you needed a pro. That was it. That was it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be shooting 70 by tomorrow. Huh?
Yeah. There you go. Change
Yeah.
overnight. What about that mare?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that?
Plod.
What was
I'm
that
plotting.
We're
I'm plotting. All right.
We're all plotting when it comes to golf.
I love it.
Jimmy, thank you
Yes,
again.
Jimmy,
Thanks,
thank
Bree.
you.
Thanks.
Fun.
It
Thanks,
was
Go.
great.
Love
Great to
it.
have you on.
Yep.
And thanks to all of you for watching The Object of the Game. For Coach Chuck Kyle, I'm Maureen Kyle. Hopefully you're watching us on the Bread and Butter, the app, the Big Play app. If you haven't downloaded it, go to the App Store, download it now. That's where you can find all of the shows. We're also available on YouTube, Big Play Network's YouTube channel, and X on Mondays. We are live on X on Mondays at 7 o'clock. And then maybe you're watching us on the Rock Entertainment Group 4 o'clock on Mondays. Lots of places to watch. That's how the world is now. Thank you so much for watching us. We'll see you next week.